My love, this is Mia, your mystic therapist, and I'm here to record a video that has been on my heart for, I would say, a couple of weeks now, but it's time, especially because we just had Juneteenth and, the ancestors. Like, this is a time for grounding our energy. So this is a time for connecting with the ancestors and calling upon our ancestral strength to propel us into this next cycle of life, into this new earth energy, remembering that we are literally not alone. Like, you connect to the ancestors, and this does not have to look like, setting up an ancestor altar, which I do recommend, but if that's not your practices, that's totally okay. Just remembering the people who have come before you, right? I'll save the rest for another video, because the reason why I'm here today is to talk about the fact that, if you have left a toxic relationship and you are currently not in a relationship, drop the shame, drop the feeling bad, and really call upon a sense of joy with this. Call upon a sense of divine feminine power with this. And this is me speaking directly to women today. Although men have definitely gotten out of toxic relationships, and I'll be honest, I can talk a little bit about that, but I'm a woman, so I'm really going to speak from my own perspective and from the perspective of women today. But I just wanted to tell the women that if you have gotten out of a relationship that was not healthy for you, my love, do you know that you have ancestors who wish that they could have done something like that? Do you know that, you've probably, most likely you've had ancestors who are women who, probably couldn't afford to leave, her significant other if they were abusive, because there was a time in society less than 100 years ago where women weren't even considered equal. They weren't even allowed to work. They were literally, when they married to someone, they were considered property. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm going to speak about this. I hope that that's really landing for you, first I want to say. And I'm going to share a personal revelation and how my own ancestors have come through for me personally when I was in a relationship that I needed to leave to break a generational cycle, right? I want you to listen to this story and know that this is me being extremely vulnerable and letting you in a little bit on my private life, which is something that I do not do. I'm a very private person. So I want you to really honor what I'm about to share and really hold safe space for me, okay? Because I'm going to always hold safe space for you, okay? So a few years ago, this is more than like 3 years ago, so not recent, but a few years ago, I was in a relationship with someone who was that was my boo at the time. Like, he was very financially well off. We had a beautiful big home together. I had my own femden, which if I'm living with a significant other, I have to have my own special room, for myself. He built me a dance studio. He was and it wasn't just about the provider energy. He was genuinely my friend. Like, that was really my boo. I really cared about this person. We had a lot of fun together, right? I really loved this person when I was with them, and I still appreciate them to this day. Don't talk to them, but I appreciate them, right? But that particular person would not deal with his mental health. His mental health and his past trauma with relationships regarding his relationship with his mom and his relationship with an ex who cheated, that caused that when he was triggered in the relationship, as you know, when we get triggered, our brains is kind of like a time machine. So you kind of go back in time, and sometimes you regress to a space in time that that particular incident first happened, and you respond from that space. So since he was not, consciously aware of his trauma enough, until he got with someone like me, you know what I'm saying, who's like, what's happening? That's not normal. Because I'm a therapist too, and I also have worked on my own mental health, you know. He just was not a safe person for me. He was not. And unfortunately, this particular relationship, I would say 90% of it was really great. But that 10%, when he got triggered, he was not a safe person. He was not a safe person. Now, let me pause for a moment and tune into my body to see what I feel comfortable sharing. What I will say is that although this person didn't put their hands on me, they were slightly intimidating. They did things that made me feel like, they possibly could do something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then people like that, they start with kind of becoming slightly emotionally manipulative, right? So I'm just so grateful that I'm not, in that relationship anymore. You know what I'm saying? But let me finish telling you about this story. So I was having a feeling that I should leave because, of course, I gave this person time to go to therapy. I'm not going to just be like, oh, you have issues, I don't want to ever be with you, No, if I love someone, I'm going to allow you to be a human being who've experienced trauma, whether you're a woman or a man, doesn't matter. We all have been through things. So I'm going to encourage you to go to therapy because, yes, I am a therapist, honey, but I'm not your therapist, and I don't want to. That's too much. I can't heal you. All I can do is really love you, and my love can heal you, but I can't heal things that, is not my job to heal. And I'm also not going to be on the receiving end of your not wanting to heal yourself, because that's very harmful to me as a woman, and it's for so many reasons, y'all. And y'all know I'm very spiritual. So even for our womb space, when we're dealing with someone who has a certain energy and they're putting it into our bodies, my love, this is the energy that you're now carrying in your womb. So if you're dealing with someone who's angry at you and hates you secretly, or jealous of you, or insecure about you, wants to control you, right? Because this particular person, he gave me all of these things, but he wanted me to be his doll baby. He wanted me to be in the house with him all the time, never doing anything. He wanted to control me. He wanted to keep me for himself, so that no one would ever have me, or I would never want to leave him, or I would never meet someone who he may have thought that, and even though I never portrayed those type of qualities, that I'm even that type of person, but because of his past trauma, he wanted to control me so that that never happened again. But it was very unnecessary. It was very unnecessary. So anywho, shared my personal business with y'all. Okay, right? I know. Let me pause for a moment, honey, because that's definitely a big deal for me. Okay. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because I knew that it was time to leave, because no thank you. Okay, no thank you. And it was getting to me, and it was starting to make me feel actually afraid. You never want to think that the person that you love, or someone that you're trusting, you're spending your life with, could possibly ever even consider remotely harming you, especially on a physical level. Whether they do it, if they're either physically threatening you at all, blocking you in a room, keeping you from doing, no, that's not okay. That's not the way adults are supposed to treat adults, not healthy adults, right? So fortunately, I'm so grateful that I have my spirituality as a woman. And this is why I want to encourage all women to be in your spirituality. Honestly, everyone, but women especially, it's so important for you to be in tune with your spirituality. So of course I go to my ancestor altar and I ask my ancestors for help. And so of course I did what I do and spoke with my ancestors. And then I went, and this is when I was with him, and then I went into the room, our bedroom together, and I was looking into his eyes, and he was looking into my eyes, and he was like crying because he loved me, you know, so much, and he was happy, you know. But as I was looking in his eyes, my ancestor, my grandmother, right, my great grandmother was channeling through me, and she was saying to me that leaving this particular person would be breaking an ancestral cycle. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually meant to leave him, but I have a choice to do so. And she was showing me, she was telling me, he's going to become like this. If you marry him, it's going to become like this. She showed me images of the ancestors who have come before me, who have dealt with men who wanted to control them, actually physically abuse them for so many different reasons. And a lot of the women in my family, because they're jealous, because the women in my family are very beautiful, you know. The women in my family are very beautiful, but when, you know, if a man is insecure and he has a beautiful woman, he may not be a healthy partner, right? So my ancestors, they have experienced being in a relationship with a man who was providing for them, right? Because that's a lot of the reasons why our ancestors as women stayed with you know, those men, because they needed security. If you give up your job fully to stay home and take care of the children, and your man, and you're cooking and cleaning and taking care of the children, and your man is providing for you, if he decides that he wants to harm you, where are you going to go? You don't have anything to be able to leave. So a lot of our ancestors had to endure abuse. They had to. So my ancestors channeled through my mind as I was looking into his eyes and showed me that some of the women before me have been abused by men who were providing for them. And they told me that I needed to leave. You know what I'm saying? And so I did. Within the week. Yes, the best thing I've ever done. No, let me not say it was the best thing I've ever done, because I've done a lot of wonderful things. But just saying, like, I was even putting some of my dreams on hold of traveling and living in different states. And then I was able to move to Houston. And now I'm able to move to Virginia. I put both of them on my vision board when I was in school, and I was able to do both of those. But if I would have stayed in that relationship, I would have been stagnant with him, married to him, being, you know, having all this material things, being cherished and adored, but also controlled. I'm not even going to say possibly abused, because I don't have the kind of family that would allow something like that to occur. And I'm not that kind of person either that would allow that to occur. But just saying. So anyway, all this to say, I just wanted to make this video for women to know that, you know, if you are coming out of a relationship, or if you are single because you left a toxic relationship, honey, you should be proud of yourself. Your ancestors were not able to do that. Be proud of yourself. You know what I'm saying? See this as an act of self-love, and know that it's okay to have standards for the way that you want to be loved. That's okay. You know, listen, one thing as a therapist, I'm just going to share this last thing with y'all. Y'all think that physical abuse is bad? And I've never experienced it, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything, because I don't, right? But I have worked with women who has. You think that physical abuse is bad? Honey, mental and emotional abuse and spiritual abuse, that's a whole nother video. It's so deep. is so deeply embedded in the subconscious mind, it's basically physical too. Because the body is a physical manifestation of your unconscious mind. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to be mindful and reflect on our ancestors, you know what I'm saying? And really continue to go on this journey of like healing as women, honey, because we're undoing centuries of consciousness that's not even our own. This toxic consciousness level, this toxic patriarchal consciousness of the oppressors is not even our own. And women have been operating off of this thought processes, organizing themselves in between it, living as such, and wondering why they want to die. Not going to say that. Wondering why they don't want to live anymore. Depressed, anxious, traumatized, because they don't understand that they're a fucking goddess and that the goddesses are here for you, honey. That's for other videos. The goddesses, I work very closely with different goddesses. I am a goddess myself. I embody the goddesses, right? I channel them for you, right? And so that's the consciousness that has been oppressed. The goddess consciousness, the divine mother. Mother Nature is an embodiment of the goddesses and the goddess consciousness, the feminine consciousness, right? And if we tap into this energy, which is what I'll be teaching, because you know, last thing, okay, I know it's okay. I have so much I want to share. One more tiny thing I'm going to say, because when I talk about the feminine consciousness, my love, I'm not talking about a little lipstick and a little skirt. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ethers. I'm talking about the cosmos. I'm talking about the subconscious mind, the dark matter, the sexual energy, right? I'm talking about the cosmic energy, the soul, the intuition, the emotion, the metaphysics, the things that are unseen and very much real. Okay? Yes, Boopy. Come here. My cat. Come here, Bubba. It's okay. Guess it's time for me to go. She said yes. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If this video resonated with you, please leave your comments. Drop 4 hearts. Please keep it cute, keep it nice. Don't, you know, let's be kind to each other. I'll be kind to you, be kind to me, okay? So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you really got something out of this. Have a wonderful day. Mwah.